Hello everyone, this is Renee, a San Francisco Bay gardener, coming to you this morning, planting ginger and celery. I don't know how this is going to go because it's supposed to get down to the 30s tonight and tomorrow night, and usually that's not good for these two plants. So what I plan to do is plant them and then put them in the cage garden in a covered up container. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, here is my ginger. You see it's sprouted. That's why I'm taking a chance, because as you can see, this has been sitting up in the house a long time. So I'm not going to cover up the sprout there. Just going to cover it up lightly. And I don't really have anything to amend this old soil. It's wet already because of the rain. But I'm going to put some 511 on it and hope that will be enough to give it some nutrients. So hold on. Okay. Not too much. That's all I'm going to put in there. Again, the dirt is already wet from several days of rain. Next, we'll work on the celery. I'm back, y'all. This celery has been sitting in my kitchen window for weeks. And it's just the stalk, it's not the base of the celery. Usually that's how I start it. You know, this is just plain old grocery store celery. But I just tried, gave it a chance to see what it would do, because I had messed around and let the base get moldy or whatever. And this one stalk was still good. I noticed it just kept growing and getting greener and putting on more leaves. So I said I'm going to try to plant this thing. So that's what I'm doing today. And I'm putting it in a deeper planter, because celery gets tall. I might have to pot it later on, but for right now, this will be okay. I hope celery is okay to transplant. And this dirt right here has some fertilizer in it already. But I'm still going to hit it with some 511, I'm sorry. Let me take it off this table. I'm going to put more in there. This dirt didn't get as wet as the other one. So we will see if this continues to grow. And like I said, I'm gonna put these in a covered container. Okay, my mistake, you guys. The covered container that I was going to use is not covered. I took the top off of it for some reason, so I am going to use those Dollar Tree domes and see if that will do enough to protect these. And you see how shallow this container is, because there's a hole there that wouldn't hold the dirt. So this ginger is about in this much of dirt. Okay, and I wanted you to see my mustard greens that I tried to separate. This is them after I separated them and put a little 511 on them. Everything is looking pretty good since I fertilized them. Look at these. Whatever this is looking good. Turnips are looking good. These are the rest of the mustard greens. They're doing well. I'm still going to have to thin them out some more, but I'll do that at a later date. Okay, so here is the celery and the ginger. I put them underneath the table. I put them in a container so they would be off the ground, protected from the wind. And I'm going to take these off until this evening so they can get a little fresh air and come back and put these on there to protect them from the 2 days of 39, 37 degree weather. Hopefully they'll grow. But I mean, this is an experiment because I never heard of growing celery from just one stalk. I always did it from the base. Okay. Okay, you guys, these are my radishes, and I'm about to pull this one, the big one, out. The other one still, I don't know, they should have been, they should be ready by now. But I'm going to reseed here, so I'm going to take this one out first. It's kind of little, but it will do. And all of these should be ready. They had enough time. Let me see what this one looks like. Nope, real tiny. I'll put that back in and see if it'll do anything. Might not, since I disturbed it. This one looks like it's being eaten up. So, anyway, I'm just gonna dig a little trench here, 1/4 inch deep. And let me see, where else can I put it? Maybe right here. 1/4 inch deep. Very shallow. And okay, these are, let me see, champion radishes. It says to plant them 12 inches apart. Well, of course, I don't have that much space, so I'm just going to do what I can. Here's the seeds. They're pretty big. These next radishes are cherry bells. I don't know what happened to my, oh, I have these on flash, I think. Anyway, I put them in this trench here. I'm going to cover them up and see what's wrong with my camera. Okay, you guys, the ground is wet, so I'm just gonna cover them up with a little water 511, and hopefully that will give them a good start. And you guys, I planted some beets. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I had some really good roasted beets for Thanksgiving. So this is for my records here. I planted beets off in this little area here and along this way by the pepper plant, and radishes. So we'll see if I get anything. I don't think these are non-companion plants. I think they'll be okay. My onions really need to be thinned out. I just don't have the energy to do it today. Maybe later. I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I don't. And I want to see this little tool I got in a drill bit set. I want to see if it works to pull up weeds. No, it doesn't, unless I'm doing it wrong. No. So, well, it does dig up the dirt around it. But anyway, I'll get back to you guys. Hi, you guys, I'm back. It is 3 days later, and I didn't cover up this ginger, nor did I cover up this celery. I just got busy and forgot. So now they don't need covering because it's supposed to be up in the 40s and 50s at night for the next 15 days. So anyway, they seem to have survived. So that's that. I wanted to talk to you guys about my brassicas. These are my turnip greens, and I think this might be turnip greens as well, not sure. But anyway, as you can see, there aren't a lot of them, and I know you must be wondering, just like I am, what am I going to do with these little bitty greens, even though they are cut and come again. Because usually the only thing I knew what to do with greens is to boil them in a big pot, and this amount of greens here would be like a tablespoon after they get boiled down. So what am I going to do with them? So I just wanted to let you know there's some things you can do with a small amount of greens, smaller than what you're used to. You can saute them and mix them up with some kielbasa or some kind of meat. Use them as a stir fry. You can also mix them up in an omelet, which is good. And for collards, I went to the Oakland Museum, and they have a cafe there, and they have a recipe, not a recipe, they have a dish called collard greens salad. It is delicious. I think what they do is they saute the collard greens, and then they just, do it until, I'm sorry, my voice is going, but they don't make it till it's really, wilted. It's just slightly wilted, so there's still a little crunch to it. And they mix it with some chicken strips, and then they have pecans in it, and some kind of sweet dressing like honey mustard dressing or balsamic vinegar dressing. But anyway, it is so good. If you have some cornbread with that, boy, that makes a good meal. So you could do that. And it doesn't take a lot of greens to just saute it. You could have a good lunch or maybe even dinner, depending on how much meat you put in it. If you don't want to do that, what I do sometimes is I'll cut the greens and then, let them grow again. And then I'll freeze what I have. I have to, you have to not parboil them. What is that called? You have to boil them a little bit in order to make sure that when you unthaw them, if you're going to freeze them, if you don't boil them ahead of time, then they'll come out mushy when you try to cook them. So that's what I do, boil them a little bit. I forgot what the name of that is. I'll put it on the screen, where you just boil it for a few minutes, then put it in an ice water bath and put it in the freezer until you keep doing that till you get a mess of greens, and you could have a pot full of greens. And I've done that with my collards. So let me see. That's that for the greens. And I'm still praying over my sweet potato plants. They made it through the 30-degree 2 nights that we had 30 degrees. They're still holding on. So we'll see. We're supposed to have our first frost, depending on the website you use, maybe the first week in January, last week in December, or next week. You don't know, depending on which website you go to. So anyway, we'll see if these things survive. I think that's it for this week, you guys. Just try to enjoy your garden if you can. I know it's cold out here. It's gets to be in the 40s in the morning, and that's too cold for me. So I get out much later than I usually do. So whenever you can get out, take a minute, walk around your garden, see what's happening, and enjoy. Okay, God bless everyone, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.